Activity will be taking place at the Rand Easter Show, where we cross now to Sam. And Sam, I'm wondering, have people started arriving already?
Good morning, Peter. Good morning to our viewers. No, right now what you're seeing is the exhibitors are here. They're setting up stuff. They, in anticipation, of course, of the kind of numbers they've been seeing over the last couple of days. 22,000 people yesterday, 18,000 on Friday when the doors opened. So they've had about 60,000 people coming through. As Craig Newman, the chairman of the Rand Easter, was saying a little bit earlier, it's kind of on par. Even in the tough economic times, people are still coming here. This is still the best value for your Rand. And one of the other reasons that people enjoy coming to the Rand Easter Show is because the gentleman next to me has made science fun. Everybody's thinking whenever they talk to Dr. Chris Smith, who goes by the name of the Naked Scientist. He's got a show called WHOOSH that's here, and it's all about experiments, answering your questions. And I've heard some, Doctor, good morning. I've heard you answer some really strange questions because you have this ability to make science fun. Where did it begin for you?
I can remember when I was about 5 years old sitting at my kitchen table with my dad, and we got a battery, connected 2 bits of wire to some electrodes, put them into water and split water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, and then lit it and made a bang. And that just sort of, for me, got me interested in science. I can remember even now, all those years ago, doing that.
What is it about science that we are starting to love? Your shows are sold out every time you come to South Africa. You're based in the UK. You do a weekly show. We won't mention the radio station, but every week people line up to ask you all kinds of questions. Why do I have an earache? Why do I feel this? And you seem to have all the answers. What is your life like at home? Is it encyclopedias, journals, books? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Do you ever go out?
I think hectic probably sums it up. But yeah, I've got 2 small children. I've got a daughter who's 9 and a son who's 7. They're coming actually in 2 days' time. They come in South Africa for the first time. We finally persuaded them to come here and see this wonderful country. And so I do have a life, but I work for Cambridge University. I'm a medical doctor half of the week, and I run the Naked Scientist the other half of the week. And it's been an amazing journey. You know, I started this as something that would just be a fun way to talk about science on the radio, just for a small commercial station in England about 10 or 15 years ago. And I thought I'd do it for a couple of years and then go off and do something far more important. And actually it's taken over my life and it's taken me around the world. It's been an amazing journey doing this.
By the way, that title, The Naked Scientist, is so misleading because we're expecting you to come out in your underwear and you're not.
Are you disappointed? You're disappointed I'm not naked? Because I tell you what, if I was, you'd be a lot more disappointed. And so would all the viewers.
Doctor, talk to me about the experiments because, you know, we love the big bang explosions. We love you working out the equations. How challenging is it to put a show together that people can relate to? Because, you know, science can be very elitist. It can speak to a small minority. So you're talking to the masses here and you've got to create science that interacts with people.
Well, what I'm trying to do with these shows is to showcase how the science that I'm trying to teach them relates to everyday life. Because the one thing that I noticed when I was at school is people teach you stuff, but then they don't tell you why it's practically any use or important to know about it. So I'm trying to explain to people, right, I'm going to do this experiment and then I'm going to show you how this relates to the world around you. How does this apply to the real world? And so I'm taking people through how glow sticks work and the chemistry of making light. I'm taking people through how explosives work so that you can do mining, which is something obviously very, very big industry in South Africa, and all that kind of thing.
What is the strangest question you've ever been asked at one of these shows or on radio?
Well, someone phoned me up once and they said, how many organs could I donate and still remain alive? And it was actually quite funny because it happened at the time of the credit crunch, the global financial crisis, and so we're all joking, sort of saying maybe they were going to sort of capitalise on their internal assets or something, so sell off as many organs as possible to raise some money and pay off their mortgage.
Okay, so how many organs can you donate and still be alive?
Well, thinking about it, it's at least 8. But it might be as high as 12. I mean, just going from the top down, you could give your corneas off the front of your eyes, so you would lose your vision, but you'd restore sight to somebody else. That's that one. You've got 2 lungs, so you could give one of those. You've got 2 kidneys, so you could give one of those. You could actually give a chunk of your liver. Your liver's got an amazing ability to regrow itself. So you could give away 4/5 of your liver, leave yourself with 1/5, and you'd end up with a whole new liver back again. You could give a chunk of your pancreas. You could give a lump of your intestine. You could also give your bone marrow. Skin is an important one as well. So there's a whole list of them, and I think there are some other more minute ones as well. So it might be as high as 12.
I hope we're not giving ideas to anybody watching us this morning. And one of the other questions the producer wanted me to ask you is, whenever you take medication, how does it know to go to the problem area?
Well, if you take, say, cold or pain remedies, this is a really good example of it. If I swallow an aspirin or a Panadol pill, how does it know where it hurts? But actually it doesn't. And every cell in your body, because your body's got about 100 trillion cells in it, every cell in your body sees a little bit of that drug in the tablet. But the tablet targets the process of inflammation, which is only happening where you have the pain. So it switches off the process that's making it hurt. And because that process is only turned on where it hurts, the pill homes in only on where it needs to go.
Wow. Dr. Chris Smith, you're like a walking encyclopedia. It's the Naked Scientist. He's at the Rand Easter show. He's got a couple of shows. They generally sold out. So if you don't have any tickets, are there still spaces at your shows?
I'm going to do 2 shows today, one this morning and one this afternoon, and it's literally turn up. There's usually it's rammed, but if you get in early, then there are seats. So come down to the Rand show, and we'll try and fit you in.
Cool. Naked Scientist, Dr. Chris Smith talking to us about the shows here at the Rand Easter. Let's go back to the studio. Valen is standing by. Valen, I'm